Hello, welcome to Healing Arts Yoga. My name is Molly Douglas, and if you've been joining me for the last, we're on week 6 now, so you've joined me for the last 5 weeks, thank you so much. If you're just joining, welcome. This is a yoga practice where you can, it's more than a yoga practice. It's a opportunity for you to be able to move out headspace and into the body and into a new state of awareness that allows you to perceive the environment around you in a new way, which we can all use right now, right? So take a few moments, make yourself comfortable, find a comfortable way to sit, gather some creative materials around you that you would like to use to create a check-in for yourself. I'm going to grab my notebook real quick. And I'm going to be fully transparent with you. Today's been a hard day. Today's been a really hard day. The last couple days I've been feeling feelings of panic or fears or worries. Feeling a lot of roller coaster feelings that are coming and going. So I'm just going to, this is what I use. These are the tools that I use to help bring balance back into my world. And that's why I feel it's important to share them with others, because I know they work for me. I know they work to help regulate the nervous system, to help regulate the digestion, to help with sleep, to help with mood. And we're all feeling this right now. We're all feeling the effects of this shift of the pandemic, of everything that's been being brought up. It's kind of bringing up our fears, our worries, our doubts, our insecurities. And for me too. I'm human like everyone else. I'm a therapist. I hold a lot for others, and I hold a lot for myself and my family, and just trying to find that balance with what's going on inward, inside, as well as outward. So this practice is an invitation for you and for anyone else that you feel could benefit to have some additional tools, additional time to carve out for yourself to take care of you right now. So let's all just take a breath. Breathing and just connecting into whatever's coming up for you in the moment. This Healing Arts Yoga is a method that is a combination of a lot of different tools that I've practiced throughout the years. And one of them that I've studied is art therapy, being a board certified art therapist. Expression is a tool, is a way to move out whatever is going on. And not only does that help explore and express feelings in an emotional way, but it can also work in an energetic way. It can also work to find balance between the right and left hemisphere of the brain, which allows us to feel that balance of body, mind, and spirit. So I encourage you to have some colored materials around you. And again, this is creative expression. Even though art therapy is in the word, this is art. We can let go if some of those feelings are coming up for you. I invite you to let go of any of those places where there are wounds or shadows right now around feeling creative or being able to express yourself. We can have wounds around this. So I invite you just to feel into whatever's coming up for you with the knowing that we are all born creative. We are all born with the ability to move out expression from a soul level through all kinds of modalities. So using visual art materials, I encourage you to just look at what you have. You can use anything. You can use crayons, you can use markers, colored pencils, oil pastels, chalk, whatever you have available. You can draw on the back of cereal boxes, on cardboard boxes, of scrap paper. Journals are nice because they can be contained. You can, whatever you're done with, you can just close up and put away. And this is not making something for long term. This is allowing yourself to express or to notice or to give voice to whatever's going on inside and move it out to the outside. It's about the process, not the end picture. So don't get hung up on what it looks like or doesn't look like. You don't have to have an image in your head of what you want it to be. So pick a color that stands out to you the most, that allows you to notice. And it could be what you notice physically, it could be what you notice emotionally, it could be what you're noticing, body sensation, allowing yourself to have some space to explore. And if available, let it move out onto the page without judgment. Letting the color move out however it chooses to. And if it feels hard to start, one thing you can do is just draw a big circle on your page. These circles are called mandalas, and they're just a way for us to have a starting place. So you can even put like a dot in the middle of your page, like so. And just start with a mandala. Start with a circle if it becomes difficult to move anything out. And then move out whatever line, color, shape, or form you're drawn to within or outside that space. There are no rules. There is no right or wrong. If the line feels like it wants to flow out, let it flow out. If it wants to stay contained, let it stay contained. And this method allows us to connect into our feelings, which we tend to shut off, which we tend to put away or feel like we don't have time to feel, we can't feel. It's selfish to spend time on how we feel. So just allowing yourself the beginning of this session to move out some color line and form. Intention of noticing what's coming up allows it to move out in a safe and healthy way. It allows it to have some awareness, have some attention, so it doesn't just continue to build and build and build, because it will if we don't have safe ways or healthy ways to have outlets. And we can have outlets that are physical, we can have outlets that are emotional, like running might be an outlet, or working out. You have to gauge for yourself what works for you. But for really getting to emotional places, it usually takes some quiet, some stillness, and going within. So again, without judgment, without fears or worries, if available, just from a place of curiosity, noticing the line moving on to the paper, however it wants to be. If it turns into something, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. It's not supposed to. It just serves a purpose in the moment. And there might be a lot that wants to move out. There might be a little, whatever it is, you're invited just to notice it. Just to observe. You might even just kind of feel like a place to dump it out too. As feelings build up, as emotions come up. Again, it's not about making things look pretty or doing a pretty picture. This is heart work. This is a type of heart work versus artwork. It's from the inside. And if you're feeling drawn, you can eat that are coming up for you. You don't have to know what they mean. This doesn't come from a headspace. The place of just observing and noticing comes from below the noise. And sometimes it takes a while to get there. So you're invited just to explore, to practice, to be curious and open. And then as you're ready, you're welcome to just kind of put that aside. And we'll move into our yoga practice. And I usually just feel into whatever the group is needing. I intuitively just let that guidance come through. And because this is a different format of live and watching later and will be posted later, I'm really feeling into the collective right now and what the collective feels like. So we may not even make it to standing. We may just continue to really ground and work on being in the present moment. Because I'm feeling like I think a lot of other people are now, of a really, really full headspace around fears, around judgments, around not enoughness, around doing and being, and kind of depleted, maybe over it, just over everything that's going on. The grieving, this is a grieving process that we're going through too, right? Grieving of how things were, kind of wanting it back that way, new awarenesses and insights coming up for opportunities and ways of being that will be a more aligned lifestyle, that's creating awareness as we are going through this as a whole planet. It's creating awareness on what is needed to feel of value and worth as human beings living on this planet, and where the care needs to be, where the consciousness and awareness needs to be, and just really being able to hold space for that. And that's a lot, and we're all holding space for that. We've got our physical world we're trying to balance, we have our emotional world we're trying to balance, and then we have this greater picture of being able to see the beyond the fear. This is moving beyond the fear, and being able to see what the opportunities, the availabilities are that will come through or come out of this that will help us grow and evolve as human beings on this planet and connected to one another. So wherever you are, whatever personal struggles you're going through right now, whatever griefs and losses you are experiencing, whatever changes or shifts are going on, I invite you to step away from the head for just a little bit for the remainder of this practice. Allow yourself to be present as much as available and have this time for you, just you. To hold yourself with compassion as that's available, as a human being that is going through these growth pains, these shifts, and the cycle of death and rebirth. And inviting you to just hold that space for yourself as you find balance of holding space for others. But allow yourself to have this time right here with the door closed or your own space just for you. Breath moving in and breath moving out. Let's begin by just calling all parts of you back to the heart space, back to center, back to home, from where you've given your time, your energy, your attention, your awareness, your thought grief, your connections. I'm just calling you all back to center, right? Bringing all parts of you back to center, back to your breath, back to this present moment. And breathe. Breath moving in and breath moving out. And if you need to continue to ground yourself to your surroundings, I invite you to bring in sensation of touch. Noticing what the hands feel, the temperatures, the textures. Bringing your awareness in with your sight. What's going on around you in your space, maybe colors or patterns or textures that catch your eye. As we invite in the practice, we're inviting in a practice of noticing. And as we invite in this practice of noticing or just allowing, it's a different place in our brain than the thoughts. We're not thinking, we're just noticing as observers from a place of curiosity. And I invite you to continue this practice as you move into connecting to the body sensations that you notice. So we'll go ahead and close the eyes or begin to lower the gaze of the eyes and become aware of any sounds around you. Noticing what the ears hear. And it's okay if your mind begins to wander. You can use the prompt of my voice or your awareness to bring yourself back to the breath whenever you notice your mind has traveled. Allowing breath to move however it chooses to. Becoming aware of the sensation of breath, or even just the awareness of the head from from the outside, not from the inside of the thoughts if available, but just the outside. Noticing any sensations around the eyes and the ear and the whole head. You might even be able to feel rhythm or pulsing or tingling. Maybe sensations of temperature, warm or cold, whatever it is, it's okay. Just noticing. And if you feel drawn to, you're welcome to let the eyes move gently behind the lids from the left side to the right side, creating a gentle rhythm, infinity sign, a figure 8. And just crossing over, back and forth over the bridge of the nose with each passing. Breath moving in and breath moving out. And inviting your eyes to come to rest right at center whenever that feels right to you. Taking a moment and just pause, becoming aware of any sensations through the eyes where we take in so much. Our eyes take in our... So creating that awareness with the eyes. Exhaling out, continuing to drop that awareness down to the nose, the tip of the nose, the nostrils. You're invited to follow that breath in through your nose or through your mouth, becoming aware of the roof of your mouth as you breathe. As you exhale in, you might notice coolness along the top of the throat, the roof of the mouth, and all the way down the esophagus. Continuing to drop that awareness down from the head to the body, to the torso, becoming aware of the top of the shoulders, the arms, and the hands. Breath moving in and breath moving out. Just noticing. Noticing where your hands feel comfortable to you. Do they want to rest on your lap, in your lap, at heart center? Wherever they feel comfortable. You're invited to do that now. Palms up. You might invite more of a, you will create more energy up, palms down, that will lower the energy. So if you are feeling more anxious, more hyper aroused, more in the survival emotions of worry, anxiety, you can always put palms down. And if you'd like, you can follow the rhythm of your breath as a simple tool by raising the hands up off the lap as you inhale and bringing the palms down as you exhale. Breath moving in and breath moving out. It seems really simple, but these are the tools and the methods that engage the nervous system, sympathetic nervous system, that allow us to not be in our head, not be in our brain, our fight or flight emotions, but allows us to focus on something else. So focusing on your breath, moving in and breath moving out, raising the palms up and moving them back down with each inhale and each exhale. Rhythmic breathing. This is a key. This is a key to find rhythm within. Sometimes we try to connect to things outside of ourselves to find balance, to find rhythm. But it's inward that we need to go to find that rhythm. So breath moving in and breath moving out. And if that feels comfortable, you want to explore something different, you can bring the palms together as you exhale, and as you breathe in and expand, the hands can go out. So you're using a little more space. Experiment. See how this feels. It might feel really comfortable to stretch out, and you have choice over how far. If you want to expand the hands a little bit, move a little bit of space and see how that feels, or if you feel like deep breath, noticing that sensation as we continue to move down the shoulders into the heart center, the chest, the lungs, the rib cage. So as you inhale, you might feel the rib cage expand, expanding out to the sides. And as you exhale and contract, feeling the muscles lengthen. So breath moving out as you expand, feeling it contract as you exhale. So you can choose to keep the hands still or use rhythm, or another option is to place the hands on the body to create more awareness. Feeling the rise and fall through the heart center. You can place one hand or both. And if you have the availability to actually place one hand over the higher heart, the place between the throat and the heart center, skin to skin, so allowing the palm to rest gently on top of the skin. Quick connection to the heart center. It allows us to create that quick awareness of our breath and that connection to the body. And as you do that and allow yourself to become aware of breath moving in and breath moving out, this can help release the tension in the muscles in the body. It can help regulate the breath, and the rhythms that you are doing help regulate the breath. I know these are simple tools, but they work so well. And the more you practice them, the more natural they'll feel to go to, even when anxious or worried or fearful or sad or angry, but to help just regulate mood. And this is really what this space allows us to do, right? When we're finding what works for us right now, to come back to ourselves, to create nourishment for ourselves, to fill our cup up in order to be of the highest service to others, or being of our most present self, to do whatever we need to do to be present with our family, or to just do the daily activities that need to be done, or to and be able to handle a schedule, or whatever it is. This is not selfish. This is nourishing. This is life value. This is life sustaining. Because if we do not create these kind of practices for ourselves, we will continue to burn ourselves out and run in survival emotions. And by practicing these tools that allow you to move down to the heart space, and this is a long practice for the hour, but these are tools that as you get more familiar with, you can envision, you can invite in really quick to move down from the headland to your roots and back into center, and it can take seconds to regulate and decrease heart rate, balance mood, move you out of that fear state and that perceived threat and back into alignment. Excuse me. So continuing to invite that awareness into that heart space, the chest, the lungs, the rib cage. Inviting in whatever breath feels best to you in this moment. Go with that. Inviting that awareness to move down into the abdomen, this core center, this place of our personal power, our solar plexus. So you might even place one hand over the heart center and one hand over the circle to you. You might even become aware of this group of muscles right around the navel, above the navel and below the bottom of the rib cage. Feel into any sensations, allowing that awareness or connection. For whatever sensations are coming up, sometimes when we're feeling those places of fear, we might feel like a quivering sensation in our solar plexus, or like a jumping kind of. So just noticing, however it is, and if available, that even though you're feeling these sensations, it's okay. You can even create a little bit of a mantra that they use in EFT. Even though I'm feeling this way, I totally and completely accept myself. Even though I'm feeling anxious in my breath, I totally and completely accept myself. Even though I'm feeling overwhelmed, I totally and completely accept myself. So whatever it is, if that's available to you, inviting in that mantra and just feel, notice how that feels. Then allowing that awareness to move down to the lower abdomen, the sacral, that runs across our hips and around to our lower back. This is our creative space, our cosmic womb, our sacral energy, where we hold our connection to creativity, and fear is the biggest blocker of creativity. So when we allow ourselves to notice and feel into the space, we can also place one hand on the heart center if that's comfortable to you. If not, do whatever feels best. But allowing one hand to rest on the sacral. And when I say womb, and when I talk about these places that may be more associated with feminine, I invite you to welcome in the idea that these are energetic spaces, and that we all hold the energy of these chakras, no matter if we are male or female or identify with neither or both. We all have these chakra energy points in the body, these energetic spaces. energy, so our creative space. It's sometimes called the womb space because it's where new ideas are birthed. So not only physical for females who choose to create physical life, but also an energetic, a creative connection is held in that space. But this is also where we hold feelings and fears. This is also where we hold other people's emotions. So my beautiful empaths out there that feel all the feels, and this is where it collects. So just noticing, feeling into that. That sometimes we hold on to more than even what we think. If we you can cut your cords, you can dig out, you can create intention, but sometimes we really have to go another step further with intention to release or let go anything we're holding on to that's not ours. Sometimes it's hourly, especially if you're working with, if you're a healer or even if you're just energetically working or connecting with people on an hourly or daily basis. As soon as you have completed what you're doing with them, one of the practices that I teach is to not only cut cords, but to release that energy down to Mother Earth or up to the cosmic universe, to universal divine love in whatever way, to be able to give that back to the highest vibration of love and light, to transmute it, to transform it, so you don't have to continue to hold it. Because it's not yours. You can hold space while you're there, and after that, that connection can be let go, and there's nothing selfish about that. And that doesn't mean that someone else is not getting what they need. It's that you're returning your space to you and their space to them. And we can actually be of way more service and connected in with our own as we learn how to energetically keep hygiene as well as we do physically and emotionally, but energetically as well. So breathe into whatever's coming up for you in that space. Noticing any sensations that might bring your awareness down to the bottom of your tailbone, to the base of your sits bones, and down your legs as we are connected to the mat. Feeling yourself on your pillow, your mat, your blanket, your seat, and feel that space connected to the earth. Just anchoring you right here, right in your space where you belong. At this time, at this moment, on this day, where you are right here. And breathe. Feeling any sensations from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. And then inviting you to connect further down, if you'd like, into the earth with your roots. Extending your roots from the base of the spine or out each foot. You might even imagine, visualize, or sense a lotus blossom, a lotus flower, if that's comfortable for you, through the sacral and the root center, and just inviting the awareness of roots to be able to connect to the earth, to nourish you, to fill you up, to fill up your cup, and to connect your heart to the heart of the planet. So you're invited to envision those roots deep into the heart of the earth, deep into the places of nourishment, to this life source energy that the planet holds, and that the heart of Mother Earth holds, and letting your roots connect in whatever way feels pleasant to you. Knowing that you can bring up this life source energy up to your heart center, and you can expand that out into each arm and out into each hand. Breathing up and breathing through all the way to the top of the head, to the crown center. Just letting that rainbow out around you. Noticing any sensations, pausing, feeling, and just noticing. Knowing that you can send down and send out anything you're holding on to, just with intention. With intention of releasing what is no longer yours. With purpose. With intention of releasing what is ready to recycle. Either back to Mother Earth, if you want to envision her heart as this big, beautiful magnet, drawing out anything. And you might even, if you're visual or want to see into that, it might be a color, shape, form. Moving out and through the layers. The physical body, the energetic body, the emotional body, the spiritual body. Also connect to whatever life source energy above. Seeing that as a big luminescent ball of light, connected to the sun, the moon, the stars, divine love, and universal consciousness. And with intention, inviting that, pulling down that cosmic energy and light, down through the top of the head, behind the eyes, the nose, the throat, the neck, the shoulders, expanding out through the heart center and each arm and each hand. You might even wiggle the hands and the fingers. Intention of connecting within. I'm a visual, so I like to pull it down to the heart center, feeling the roots from below and the roots from above anchor in right at the center, and even expand out through the back of the shoulder blades, through our wings. And if you want to keep this just a very simple practice, it's the sun salutation, inviting the arms to come up overhead, bringing the palms together, and with breath, bringing that down and through. So whatever feels best to you, pulling up that light and energy around you, connecting above, bringing it through and connecting within. Taking a moment to just notice any sensations. You might feel yourself more anchored into the body, feeling yourself more grounded and rooted, your awareness down to the body from the headspace. And if your mind begins to travel or continues to pull yourself into thoughts or judgments or whatever's going on, it's okay. Bring yourself back with the breath. Breath moving in and breath moving out. So you can continue to keep your eyes closed or your gaze lowered, and we'll do some gentle stretching with the neck, inviting in whatever movement feels best to you, letting the chin move over towards the shoulder, noticing any sensations on the opposite side before moving. other side. Noticing anywhere gentle stretching feels comfortable to you. You might even angle the chin a little bit. Inviting the chin back to center, the head back to center, the chin towards the chest. You can even create a gentle rocking from shoulder to shoulder. Becoming aware of any sensation along the back of the neck. You can use the fingertips to create gentle touch, stimulating that vagus nerve. Going all the way up to the axis, or the brain, the cerebellum, or the occipital ridge, that base right at the top of the spine, the base of the skull. It's kind of where it's got that bump or that ridge. Inviting awareness with the fingertips, the fingernails, anywhere along those pressure points. Behind the ears, up above. In front of the ears and the nerve endings, all along the ears. You might even create a gentle bend with the inside and the outside ears, and it might even, if you hear just some gentle touch, anything that feels pleasant. If it feels painful or uncomfortable, you don't have to do it. Ease out of it and into something that does feel better to you. You always have choice. This is your practice. You might find yourself yawning, sighing, coughing. Reflexes are moving stuck energy. So the sensation of touch creates that movement, that reflex that moves out. Anywhere we're holding tightness and tension in the body is also stuck energy, is also emotions, is also stories. So just becoming aware that you don't have to know it, you don't have to know all the details. Just allowing yourself to be an observer of what feels pleasant to you and go with that. So lifting the chin up towards the ceiling, coming aware of the lymph nodes or the glands that run along the upper and lower jaw where they connect. Even creating a sound. Let's create a sound. The throat chakra is going through an overhaul right now. Speaking our truth, voicing our truth. I drew an oracle card this morning and it was Joan of Arc. The voice of truth, and we're being called, right, in all kinds of different ways to speak our truth, to speak our authentic voice, to step up and own our word, our story, our power. This place of empowerment, where things feel off balance. We are a community of light workers who are here to heal those wounds that are in the throat chakra as well. And if any of you have been working or connecting with me for a while, you know that as a community of light workers, there have also been past stories of feeling persecuted or being persecuted for those beliefs, for speaking our truth and for stepping into our power. So clearing out a lot of the throat chakra energy of just plenty in this lifetime of being able to speak our truth, of being able to tell how we feel. So just becoming aware of any sensations. And one thing that we don't do a lot is be heard. That's one thing that can feel really scary. So I invite you, even if your family's downstairs, next door, on the other side, and I think things are gonna be a little, sound a little weird, I invite you just to hold space for that judgment and allow yourself to just let out a sound, let out a tone through the mouth as you open the jaw. And we can do this together with the hay. And the hay is the heart center. And as that comes up, that through the throat chakra and out. So take a deep breath in and exhale. And then on this next inhale, on the exhale, just let out a really long tone, a hey, and just notice how that feels in the body. So we'll breathe in. Hey. If you feel like doing that again with me, feel free. Take a deep breath in. Just pausing on the stillness. Notice any sensations. So I invite you to do this a third time with me, and on the third time, you're welcome to let the awareness move inward, letting attention to move out from the heart center. And it's okay if your voice fluctuates, and don't worry about what it sounds like. This is not about making it sound perfect. It's about noticing. It's about expressing from a place of curiosity, of interest, almost like an explorer or a researcher of just allowing. So I invite you to inhale and then exhale with the last tone we'll do together. Feel into that sensation and then allow yourself that pause to notice vibration in the body or sensation at the body. Okay, so breathing in. Good. Tone can be really important. Tone is really important, and I feel that as you continue to use tone, not only does it strengthen the vocal cords and strengthen that throat chakra, but the different tones help move out vibration. There's a lot of sound healing and different tools and techniques that really focus on this type of healing, and you can do this yourself with the different tones. So yeah, if you want to play with that more, experiment with that more, I invite you to do so. So continuing that stretching, whatever way feels best to you, through the shoulders. Creating big or little movement, inviting the shoulders up on the hands up on the elbows, forward and back. Continue to stretch through the spine with the cat and cow. Bending and rounding and arching, lifting the tail and chin. Reversing that. Dropping the head and letting the chin and tailbone come down. Also moving that out to the side is another option. So notice what shape the body wants to move. Notice what wants your attention. If your leg is feeling cramped or tight, you might want to switch seated forms, or you can always move up into tabletop and continue through the stretch. We're coming towards the end of our yoga practice, but I do want to get in just a little bit of lower body since we were seated. Creating some gentle stretching, whatever way feels best to you. Because as we create this awareness with noticing as we move with the toning and the words, and we're just feeling into it, any of those kind of aches or pains, you can breathe into, move, might even kind of stretch through it, and it's going to move the energy out. Or it might just feel good in releasing the tension from the muscles. You might even release the tension from the neck and head right now. Creating some gentle yeses or gentle no's. And tabletop or resting on the forearms. Or up and downward dog. So you're invited to tap into the intuition of the body, the intelligence of the body, inviting it as a resource to move in whatever way feels pleasant to you. Spending the last few minutes stretching or in child's form with the stillness before we end this yoga practice. Breath moving in and breath moving out. And then eventually, as you feel ready, you can find your way over to your back, lying down on your back or your side, or you might feel like sitting back on the heels and moving into child's form if you haven't already. Whichever rest form feels pleasant to you to spend the last few minutes of your yoga practice where you can just be, where you don't have to be doing anything else. You don't have to be anywhere else. Just you, just your breath. If it's available, letting that breath anchor you here to the present moment. Anything's uncomfortable or painful, you always have the choice to ease out of the form and into something that feels better to you. You always have that choice. Those options are always available to you. You never have to feel like you're stuck or have no choices. Just noticing and feeling. Breathing into anything that feels pleasant. And as you feel ready, bringing yourself back to your breath, back to your heart center. Creating some gentle movement, your fingers and your toes. Bending your knees. Finding your way over to your side. Seated form. Taking your time on your side, feeling yourself held, supported, nurtured, and cradled. And as you make your way back up to seated, I invite you to pause a moment and just notice if there's been any shift or change since the beginning of your practice. Maybe in your breath, maybe in your thoughts, maybe in your feelings. Maybe in your body sensations. You're invited to move back into your creative expression as you feel ready. And just take a few moments to use line, shape, color, or words to create any awareness on how you're feeling now. So thank you so much for being a part of this yoga practice, for tuning into this, or if you're watching it later. I hope whatever places of feeling present, feeling grounded, feeling centered, or whatever other pleasant sensations you were able to continue to bring those with you throughout the rest of your evening, throughout the rest of your night, and the rest of your week and weekend. Thank you so much for being a part of this and being a part of the healing arts community. I'm truly grateful for all of you. And know that if you are in need of extra connection or support or resources, don't hesitate to reach out. The light in you brings out the light in me. Thank you so much. Namaste. Thank you all for watching.